himself, Steve Beverly.
Hello again, everyone. It is so good to have you with us again here on Steve Beverly's TV Classics, our last episode for the month of May. Can you believe that next Saturday night it's going to be June? Busting out all over, as they used to say in that great song from Oklahoma. Oh my goodness, the time just flies by. And don't you know that not only the students, but the teachers are so glad that there is a break now from school. I'm with all of you. I was there when I was a student. I couldn't wait for that summer break, but I know so many teachers, and I was one at Union University for 29 years. That summer break, whoo, that was something that you live for. If you could find a countdown clock to put on your on your computer, you would. But I'm glad you're here with us. And for the rest of the summer, I hope we can have some fun with some of the great oldies that television has brought us. Tonight is one that is not as old as many as we typically have, but it is an entertainer that many of you may not remember his name, maybe not even remember his face. But if you watch the Kraft Music Hall regularly on NBC, and there were different versions of it through the years, but from 1967 to 71, it was weekly, but it was not the same cast every week. It was a different host every week, and sometimes it would be a different theme for the music. And they would have comedians here and there. But in the summer of 1970 and 71, NBC did what a number of networks did during the 1960s and early 70s, is that they tapped the UK for either programs or a host. And that's exactly what they did. One of the young and rising singers and comedians that was in the UK was a man named Des O'Connor. And he had a tremendous singing voice, a lot of people called him the Perry Como of the late 1960s because he was so relaxed and at ease with the music that he would do. But he also had a great comic mind, and he brought great guest stars. And on this one tonight, which is one of the shows that was part of the Kraft Summer Music Hall in 1971, he has Jack Benny, of all things. Yep, he's got Jack, and there's a great sequence between the two of them. And Connie Stevens, who many of you may remember going all the way back to the series Hawaiian Eye. She did a comedy show called Wendy and Me, did a number of movies with Troy Donahue. But Connie Stevens is also one of the guests. So it was an Americanized guest list, but it was the British style of humor, which oftentimes we have here on PBS. So tonight, sit back and just enjoy some very fun entertainment with the Des O'Connor Show.
It's the Des O'Connor Show. Starring Jack Benny and special guest star Connie Stevens with J.D. Douglas, the New Faces, the Dolly Birds +2, and Jack Parnell and his orchestra.
And here is your host, Des O'Connor.
Please don't spoil me. No. That's what they've been doing to me all this week. They've been spoiling me because it's the first week of our new television series. And everybody in our family is so excited about a new TV series. Because for one thing, it means a whole new wardrobe. Not for me, for my wife. And thank you for the many letters you sent in. And a lot of them were asking me about my daughters. You know, now I've got 2 daughters, and I thought perhaps you'd like to see them, because every star brings his family on. Have you noticed that? Sooner or later on his show. usually at Christmas, but my lot will work any time. And I thought you'd like to meet the family. The small one is Samantha. She's 6.5. The big one there with the long hair, that's Tracy Jane. She's 8.5. And that's my lovely wife, Gillian. And she's watching the show, so you can make up your own mind about her age. Everything is beautiful. It's always like a starry summer night, snow-covered winter's day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Like a starry summer night, snow-covered winter's day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And everybody's in their own way. It's very, very good to see you. I'm delighted to see you.
I'll be off now, Mr.
No, come here. Just calm down. What's the matter with you?
Well, I always, you always say to me, get off, so
Well,
before
Alf,
you say...
Alf, I've been thinking about it. Now, just relax. I do say get off, and how can I come out here and sing a song like everything is beautiful and be nice to your brother and then tell you to get off? That's not right.
Yes, I'm sorry about
No,
that.
don't be sorry. It's me that should apologize because you didn't come out here to spoil the star's performance.
Oh, no.
You came out here because secretly, in your heart, you nursed a little desire to be the star. You could see your name up there in those white letters. There's the spot. There's the camera.
Hey.
It's the Alf Epititimus Alf.
I get off. No, I don't.
You might as well. You'd like to see Alf work, wouldn't you, ladies and gentlemen? There you are, there you are. This is your big moment.
It is? My show?
Yes.
Shall I tell him a story?
Anything you want.
Yes. Could you just move over? You're in my light. Good evening, ladies and things. I'd like to tell you a little story. I don't know any stories. Could you tell me one?
Well, it'll be an old one, do you mind?
Oh, I like your stories.
Let me see. Right. Now, there's a fella had a pain in his ear.
Pain
in his ear, see? And then it spread across to his nose.
Yes.
And then it eventually went over to his other eye.
Yes.
It was sort of an inflammation. See, an inflammation. So his friend said, what you should do is get a tea bag. Put the tea bag, and that will draw out all the inflammation. But unfortunately, the man put the tea bag on much too hot. The bag broke, and all the leaves went into his ear. Now then, he rushed down to a doctor who happened to be an Indian gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to the doctor, look in there, tell me what you see. And the doctor said, oh, my goodness me. I see a tall, dark stranger.
Could I tell that one?
Please.
Yes. There was this man, you see, and he had a congregation in his ear. And it started off in his nose, and it went to his ear. So he went to see his friend, and his friend said, put a tea bag on your ear. And he... Are you all right? He put a tea bag on his ear, and it burst and went into his ear. So he went to see the doctor, who was an Indian gentleman, and the doctor said, hey, up. He says, you're going to see a tall, dark strainer.
Did you enjoy doing that?
No, Mr. O'Connor.
No?
No, would you do something for me?
Yes.
Tell me to get off.
Get off. Ladies and gentlemen, get off. I'm sure Alf didn't mean any harm. This is, something he's doing. Get off!
Yeah.
We had a lot of very talented guests on the show last series, and one young lady seemed to please everybody. Well, we like to please you, so we've invited her back for the entire series. Will you give a really warm welcome to a dolly, talented little lady, Connie Stevens. Connie? Yeah, well, I don't have to tell you that it really is good to have you here.
Thank you. I don't have to tell you. I think it's going to be terrific.
Comfy.
Yeah.
No problems.
Well, except one.
Tell me who he is and I'll fire him. Well, there must be something that we can do on these stools for 14 weeks.
One very long song.
Would you settle for one short, sweet song?
Yes. On a very sweet, stunning stool.
If you let me,
What?
if it pleases,
Yeah.
I'd be glad to share your smiles and your sneezes. Though I sometimes think the chances are absolutely
You have
nil.
to play your cards right.
And just to know you is a groovy kind of thrill.
So romantic. I am handy round the kitchen. Got diplomas both for darning and
Oh,
stitching.
come on.
Me. If you ever need a shoulder to cry on, call on me.
And just to know you is the height of luxury.
Well,
Once or twice,
What?
tell your friends you think that I am kinda nice.
Mother, he's adorable.
Got my ticket for a trip to paradise. If it falls through,
Some things do.
I'd be sweet to your
I
relation.
got a lot. I'll defend you at the United Nations.
Come to think about it, there's nothing much I wouldn't do.
Heard about you, Englishman.
As long as I could spend a lifetime knowing you.
Now look, we just gotta think of something. Maybe we could do a little love serial or something. A little love story every week. How about
yeah, that's it. Like Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
I could play Ben.
Yeah.
You could play her.
Come on, think.
An airport.
Terrific. Everybody meets at airports, right? Oh, how do you see yourself?
I'd be a suave, debonair captain with a deep, dark brown voice.
He's got a problem.
How do you see you?
I see myself standing at the top of the stairs with a long mink and a low-cut dress and some gold lame hot pants.
No.
You want to wear them?
You're being cheeky. And another thing.
If it falls through,
Some shows do.
don't say that on the very first show. I've been watching from a distance.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling you admire my persistence.
I do.
Where there's life, there's always hope. That's a good philosophy. I'm happy just to know you, knowing you know me. Knowing you's a groovy thrill. Such a groovy kind of thrill.
We get to kiss and hug and all that stuff in this series.
Well, if you like, such a groovy kind of thrill.
I once knew a short-sighted dentist who couldn't tell front teeth from rear. He'd say open wide and walk round to the side, then he'd stick his big drill in your ear.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to present a very talented young man from the colonies. Won't you give a warm welcome, please, to Jack Benny?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, first of all, I'd like to tell you how happy I am to be back in London and to be appearing on this show. Now, I must tell you how I happen to be on this particular program. See, about a month ago, I was in Honolulu on a vacation. I believe you call it a holiday, you see. And I needed the rest, you see. When suddenly, I was there one night, I got a long-distance call from a fellow by the name of Des O'Connor, who evidently has something to do with this show. Well, anyway, he called me long distance, and he said, Jack. He called me Jack. I didn't even know him. Anyway, he said, Jack, I wish you would do me a favor and fly to London and be on my opening program of the season. And how much money do you want? See? So finally, I said to him, well, Mr. O'Connor, you see, right now, I'm on a holiday, and I need the rest. I don't want to leave, you see. I would rather stay here and not work, but if you really need me badly, I will come to London and be on your show. But my salary would have to be £12,000 and all of my expenses. Then I was glad that he was paying for the call because there was a 7-minute pause. And finally, he said in a sort of a falsetto voice, he said, Jack, we don't pay that kind of money here. Now, the best I can possibly give you is £5,000 and no expenses. Well, I got real angry, and I said, look, Mr. O'Connor, you called me. I didn't call you. I said, I don't need that job in London. Now, if you want me, my salary is exactly what I said, £12,000 and all of my expenses. Now, think it over and take it or leave it. And I hung right up in his ear. I was so mad. Then about a week later, when I didn't hear from him, then I called him. And I told him he was sorry for what he said. And asked him, I said, Des, I said, do you still want me to do that show? He said, yes, Jack, but I can't raise the money. The best I can do is $5,000. He says, now you take it or leave it. Well, by this time, I was real angry. And I was just going to let him have it when the operator cut in and said, you better take it, Jack. He's going to hang up. So aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Des O'Connor Show. Now, you know, ladies and gentlemen, when I ask for a lot of money to be on a show, that doesn't mean, it's not because I'm mean or stingy or miserly. Let's see, what else did he call me? Well, anyway, to make a long story short, let me say I'm very happy to be here, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Silver lines, reach out for better times. Hold on to what you've got that's good and justified. That's good Move on from vagrancy. Throw out complacency. Lean on to what you've got that's good and justified. Sing songs of what we've got that's good and justified.
Des, I'm glad you called me out again because I wanted to explain to both you and to the audience that I was just kidding before during my monologue about the fight we had over the telephone.
I'm so happy to have you here on the show with me, and I really mean this, that after the show, it would be my pleasure to take you out to dinner, and I'll pay the bill.
Well, I'll be just as happy to take you out because I'm glad to be here. We'll go to dinner together, and I'll pay the bill.
No, Jack, look, let me impress this upon you. I'd feel much better if I paid.
Well, if your health is involved, go ahead.
Jack, you've been coming to England for years now, haven't you?
Yes, I've done all kinds of shows here. Did I ever tell you about my success at the London Palladium?
Yes, you did, Jack. You told me the last time we met in Trafalgar Square. I don't know whether you recall this. You told me that while you were playing at the Palladium, you were such a success that at the end of the act, you got a standing ovation, and they cheered and said you were fantastic, and so many bows you took for a quarter of an hour.
I told you that about me? I don't even remember our being introduced.
We weren't. You were just stopping people at random.
Yeah, I can't understand that. I'm usually so modest about being a hit. But you know, Des, I can't get over how expensive London has become since I was here last.
Oh, come on.
Oh, the prices are just tremendous.
Well, Jack,
it's
it hasn't-
ridiculous.
It hasn't changed all that much now, has it?
Are you kidding? I've only been here 2 weeks, and 12 pounds went like that. Next time, I'm coming alone.
Jack, since your last visit, our government has set up a whole new currency. You know, it's a whole new English currency, and I'm just wondering, had you had any trouble with that?
No, it's no problem. You see, when I come to England, I never convert my money.
But, Jack, that's silly. I mean, you can't spend American dollars, yeah?
I know.
Jack, our money is so simple now. Let me explain it to you, all right?
You're going to explain money to me? This I've got to see. Go ahead.
Well, now, the decimal system, our currency, is based upon... It's based upon the pound, in actual fact, right?
Right.
And this is a pound note, and it's set into units of 100 now.
You mean just like our dollars?
Yes, yes, but this, in American money, would be worth, $2.40?
That is worth $2.40.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you shouldn't wave it around like that.
Jack, now, the coins, this is very interesting because this is very new. The coins, this one here, the big one, is 50 new pence, right? That's that's $1.20.
That little coin is worth, this one here is worth $1.20.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, I guess that's why the cab driver kissed me. I think he owes me another one.
Jack, this little coin, this is 10 new pence.
10 pence.
Yeah, which is the same as a 2-shilling piece.
Well, what's that? I don't understand. What's that in American money? That's all I want to know.
I suppose, Jack, it'd be about 24 cents. It's very handy for tipping.
Look, just tell me how much it's worth. Let me figure out how to spend it.
Now, Jack, these are the notes, you see. You have the pound notes. £1, £2, you see. Then you have the £5,
Right.
£10,
Right.
and the £20. And those notes together, I suppose they add up in American money something about $85, $90.
No kidding. This is, gee, that's, pardon, I'm sorry. That's the hardest part of the lesson right there. Now, wait a minute, Des. The only way I'm really going to absorb this is by actually using English money, you see. So for practice, why don't we just pretend that you're selling me something?
Yeah, but I don't have anything to sell you, Jack.
Well, anything. We're using that just as an example.
All right, for example, I have this 18-carat, 25 jewel, this one, wristwatch. If I can get it off.
If you can get it off, I was just going to say, yeah.
All right?
All right.
Okay, and you want to buy it, right?
All right, then I ask you, of course, how much you want for it. Is
That's
that right?
That's right. And I say something like £2.
£2 for this?
£2.
It's a deal. Here we are, £1, £2. Thank you very, very much.
If you wanna see me do my thing, pull my string, pull my string. Puppet man, puppet man. Baby, baby, I'm your sweet dick, just a personal marionette. Wind me up and let me go. Don't you know I'm a one-man show? Raise your finger and I'll perform. Crack jack till the crack of dawn. If you wanna see me do my thing, pull my string. Pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. Baby, baby, I'm all you need. Satisfaction guaranteed. Anytime you feel uptight, I'm at your service morning, noon, and night. Do what you want me to. I'm a puppet just for you. If you want to see me do my thing, pull my string. Pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa.
That went quite well, Jack.
Ah, Des, I can't thank you enough for sharing your dressing room with me. That's very kind of you.
Oh, well, Jack, you're a guest on the show, and I'm delighted to have you here.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to complain. Would you mind just moving over a little bit? Your bouffant hairdo is casting a shadow over my blue eyes.
Hey, Jack.
What?
You know, they really are blue, aren't they?
Bluer than the thumb of a cross-eyed carpenter. Hey, that was funny, wasn't it?
That's pretty funny.
Wasn't that good?
That was pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah, I wish I'd said that.
You can if you like. It'll be our little secret.
Well, Jack, I wouldn't steal your material, even though I admit I'm tempted. You see, your jokes, well, they're really fantastic.
Well, I mean, fantastic is such a big word, you know.
Well, maybe you're right.
Oh.
Or maybe it's not the jokes, Jack. Maybe it's the way you tell them. Your delivery is brilliant.
Oh, there you go again. Brilliant, fantastic. I mean, now you're overdoing it. Those are exaggerations. Believe me, I'm not that great. Am I?
Jack, for me, you're the master. You know, when I was a kid, I I patterned myself after you. I used to walk like you walk. I used to talk like you talk.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I used to spend hours just sitting in front of the mirror, folding my arms and practicing saying, well.
I can't take credit for all of that. The poor writers helped me.
Well, Jack, writers or not, you've always been my idol.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I'm your idol?
Uh-huh.
I must say, Des, I'm flattered. I really am.
The only thing is, Jack, and I don't really know how to say this, but would you mind one teeny little bit of constructive criticism?
You have some constructive criticism for your idol?
Jack, I know you won't mind me saying this, but I think your timing is a little bit off.
You don't like my timing?
Well, yes, I like it, but it's the pauses. You know those long pauses? A little bit, well, you talk a little bit too slowly. You know what I mean?
Des, how old are you?
38.
38. I have reruns older than that. And listen, as long as you have all this criticism, is there anything else you can pick me up on?
Well, as a matter of fact, Jack, if you want to know, yes, there is actually.
What?
It's your walk.
You don't like the way I walk?
Well, it's okay. It's not funny, is it? I mean, if you're going to do a walk, do a funny walk. Do a Groucho. Now, Groucho Marx, that was a funny walk, you know? Your walk. You walk like Princess Margaret.
Well, I had it first. First place, she stole it from me, you know.
Well, will you excuse me for a moment, Jack?
I'll excuse you for life.
Jack, this is my fan club, Jack. You'll have to excuse me. They adore me, you know. They'll tear me to pieces if I let them in. Excuse me, girls. Now, just calm down. I'm yours.
It's Jack Benny. The Jack Benny? Yeah, well, who's Jack Benny? He's the man that talks slow and walks like Princess Margaret. Oh, I love him, then. Can I have your autograph, sir? Oh, please, Mr. Benny.
Oh, certainly.
Thank you.
Certainly, there you are.
Oh, isn't it? Thank you. Oh, isn't this
Well.
wonderful?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, our little recitation entitled... How do you do?
How do you do? My brother and I know everything.
Your brother and you know everything?
So do we.
What is 3,482 new pence divided by 8.5 new pence?
My brother knows that.
Ladies and gentlemen, our little recitation entitled, She's Only the...
I say. If I gave you 1,000 pounds, what would... This is the silliest show I've ever been on.
I've just got a French poodle for my wife.
Sounds like a good swap.
You're right.
Of all the gods... Hello, Connor.
What do you get when you cross a cow with a camel?
I don't know. What do you get when you cross a cow with a camel?
I don't know either, but you only have to milk it once every 3 months.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I say, can you loan me £1 till I get straight?
Ladies and gentlemen, our little monologue entitled, She Was Only the Vicar's Daughter. He works so hard, that fella.
What's the difference between a female onion and a male onion?
I don't know what is the difference between a female onion and a male onion.
You don't know your onions, do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, our little recitation entitled, She Was Only the Mayor's Daughter.
I say. Ladies and gentlemen, a funny thing happened to me in this studio, and this isn't it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our little recitation is...
Shut up! I say, you leave my granny white.
I never touched her.
Recitation. He stood on the bridge at midnight.
His lips were all a-quiver,
He gave a cough
and his leg fell off.
and floated down the river. Not for all the dreams in dreamland, not for all the couples on the shore.
I've been singing songs for about 3 years, I suppose, and I've been telling jokes for about years, you know, something like 17 years. And this is a little bit of a problem for me because I find when I sing, sometimes I want to be funny, you know. And some songs, well, have you ever been in the car or in the bath and you make up your own songs, you know, put your own words to them? And it's usually the great songs that you do it to, you know, songs like, and I wake up in the morning with my hair down in my eyes, and she says, bleh. Or, I kiss your lips and all at once your teeth go flying. This is a little trick I've learned, as I say, you know, making up your own words to songs. And the other night I was in a restaurant here in London, just around the corner, actually, from the studio, and I wasn't too happy with the food that evening, you know, in this particular restaurant, and the service had been even worse. And there was a little group in the corner, three-piece group, and they were playing one of the great songs of our time. And as I was finishing my dessert, which was a piece of flan, and for any non-British viewers, flan is kind of like a piece of pie. I'd say piece of pie, but it's not going to rhyme in the song when I get to it. It's a piece of flan, and as I was finishing that, these words came to my mind. And now the end is near, and I must face the final spoonful. The soup, they called it clear. It had no taste, but sounded tuneful. They served each dish with sauce. To hide, they cooked it in a dry way. And more, much more than this, they threw it my way. Yes, there was fish on the menu, and I bit off more than I could chew. They had the nerve to call it trout. I ate it up, and it swam out. They served it whole, still in a bowl, and threw it my way. Rump steaks, I've had a few, but what we had was really ghastly. And I found what I had to chew was hidden neath the sprig of parsley. It had lived a life that's full, had cantered each and every highway, and more, much more than this, they threw it my way. What was that flan pie? What had it got? I searched for fruit, but it had not. The pastry, too, was like cement. I took a bite, but made no dent. The bloomin' bill was stiffer still. They threw it my Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that, because, you know, you can't please everybody. This show is going to 14 different countries, and people have written to me, American people have written and said, you know, O'Connor, With a name like that, you should sing an Irish song. Well, would you settle for an Irish joke? Would you? Speak to Desmond. You would, right. My favourite Irish joke is the Irishman who joins the lumber camp in Canada. And he wanders onto the camp, and the first thing he sees is two men sawing on a log of wood. You know, one of those big saws? There's a big man on one end and a little man on the other, and they're pulling it back and forward, back and forward. And Paddy can't stand it any longer. And he wanders over to the big guy, and he grabs him by the scruff of the neck. He says, "If the little fellow wants the saw, let him have it." So at least we've pleased some Irish people. And we're going to try and please a different country each week, but you can't please everybody all at once. I mean, it's impossible. And if that isn't a cue for a song and a plug for my new album, I never heard one. It's impossible. Tell the sun to leave the sky, it's just impossible. It's impossible. Ask a baby not to cry, it's just impossible. Could I hold you closer to me and not feel you going through me? Split the second that I never think of you, oh, how impossible. Can the ocean keep from rushing to the shore? It's just impossible. If I had you, could I ever want for more? It's just impossible. And tomorrow, should you ask me for the world, somehow I'd get it. I would sell my very soul and not regret it. For to live without your love, it's just impossible. Can the ocean keep from rushing to the shore? It's just impossible. If I had you, could I ever want for more? It's just impossible. And tomorrow, should you ask me for the world, somehow I'd get it. I would sell my very soul and not regret it. For to live without your love, it's just impossible. Impossible. It's impossible. We will be meeting again soon, so until then, remember this. Anytime you're feeling lonely, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home. You. Thank you. Good night. Thank you very much. Good night.
Well, Well, during the summer of 1970 and 71, Des O'Connor was a must at our house on Wednesday nights at 9 whenever he came aboard with his summer craft music call. It was really just fine family-oriented entertainment and also just to hear his music. And there have been times that I know some of you have heard me go out with his version of Any Time that you just heard right there. And I think you might hear it again tonight. But it was one of my favorites. We lost him 6 years ago. But he had a tremendous following in the UK, and ultimately he transitioned from doing a weekly variety show to doing what was a UK version of The Tonight Show, and it was called Des O'Connor Tonight. So he really was somewhat like the Johnny Carson of British television. And I hope you enjoyed that tonight because it's just pure fun, and that's what we like to have here on TV Classics. So it's time for us to go. We'll be back again next week with that first episode in June. And until then, this is Steve Beverly saying, remember the famous words of Chuck Tomlin, who said, what's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? Well, one is very heavy. The other is a little lighter. You know, he's got a point there, folks. Let's give him a break tonight. Chuck didn't dig too bad for that one. Have a great week, and I'll see you again next Saturday night. Until then, so long from the Sunshine State.
So long from the Sunshine State.
Guests on Steve Beverly's TV Classics will receive Carter's Little Liver Pills. If you have a little liver, Carter's is the answer. And Vestibule. If you think your pastor will step on your toes from the pulpit, just take 2 Vestibule tablets. You won't hear a word he says.
As Des O'Connor would say, remember this.
Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you. Here we go. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home to you, to you. I'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.
Guests on Steve Beverly's TV Classics will receive Carter's Little Liver Pills. If you have a little liver, Carter's is the answer. And Vestibule. If you think your pastor will step on your toes from the pulpit, just take 2 Vestibule tablets. You won't hear a word he says.
Hello, Steve Beverly TV Classic fans. I'm Peter Knoll, General Manager and CEO here at Channel 11, and I'm with Steve Beverly.
Hello, everybody.
And we have been asked by fans of the show and the station, are there any Steve Beverly TV Classic items? Well, we have them. These are thank you gifts if you become a donor to Channel 11. We have a Steve Beverly TV Classics oven mitt. Your fingers fit right in there, and you take stuff out of the oven as you're cooking dinner, as you watch Steve Beverly's TV Classics. We also have a soup mug. It is heavy duty, has a lid on it, warm up leftovers or put some soup in. And my favorite is the Steve Beverly TV Classics wine tumbler. All these are available as our thank you gift for you for becoming a donor to Channel 11. Go to westtnpbs.org and make a donation, and we'll send you one of these.